the first inning, and there is a ball game going on. Brian McLaughlin and Andre Sims here for the Whitey Red Sox, and the three-hitter up for the Brewster Whitecaps, and the count remains 2-2. Brett Auerbach is on first base for the Whitecaps. He hit a one-out single off of Eric Tolman, the starter for the Whitey Red Sox today. Tolman, the lefty from Arizona State, struck out Gage Workman for the first out here in the top of the first. Then a single for Auerbach up the middle. The 2-2, swing and a miss from Gentry, and that's the second strikeout here, the first for Tolman. Gets him on the changeup, and there's two down.
Already, Eric Tolman looks a lot more comfortable than we did the last time we saw him, which was against this Brewster team not too long ago over at Stony Brook Field. Attacking hitters better, but the big thing for him in that one was 2 out walks. 2 out base runners absolutely killed him to the tune of 4 unearned runs and 8 runs total. And so already here with 2 outs runner on, see if he can shut the door.
First pitch, swing and a miss from Mason Dodd, the lefty at the plate, 0-1. Tolman in that start went 4 1/3, 8 runs, as Andre mentioned. Only 4 were earned, but it was a major 5-run second for the Whitecaps that propelled them to the big victory over YD. Tolman from the stretch stares at the runner at first, the 0-1. Slider dips down and away to Dodd. It's a ball and a strike. Tolman enters today's action 0-1. That one loss was against the Whitecaps with a 5.40 ERA in 4 games on the mound. This is his 3rd start. Check on first. Back standing is Auerbach. Whitey in their home white tops, white pants, red socks across the chest with red piping. Brewster in their teal road uniforms, Brewster across their chest. The 1-1 misses high, and it's 2-2 to Dodd. Dodd went 1 for 3 yesterday in his first game as a Whitecap. A double, a walk, and a strikeout. The 2-1. Fastball right at the knees for a called strike. 2-2. 2 outs, top of the first inning. Auerbach on first. The YD defense playing the lefty Dodd to pull. King way off the line at third base. Runner takes off. The 2-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. Tolman strikes out the side in the first. Works around a 1-out hit from Auerbach. There were no errors. 1 man left the board for the Whitecaps. We'll be back here in just a moment for the bottom of the first. Coming up next here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Back here at Red Wilson, we're set for the bottom of the first inning between the Brewster Whitecaps and the YD Red Sox. Had a late start to our broadcast here today due to some small power issues throughout Red Wilson Field, but we are ready for some baseball. The Whitecaps went scoreless in their half of the first, and they'll send out Cam Tringali out of South Carolina on the mound for the Whitecaps today. The righty is 6'4", 220 pounds. He comes in with a 1-2 record with a 2.00 ERA. His 5th start for the Whitecaps. He has only worked as a starter for Brewster this season. Here's the Red Sox offense that'll match up with Tringali today. It's Wyatt Young leading off at shortstop, followed by Brad Beasley in center. Austin Wells from Arizona bats third. He does the catching. Noah Campbell today in the cleanup role, coming off a 3-hit day yesterday. Tate Samuelson bats 5th. Jack Wold, the designated hitter, 6th. Riley King slides down to the 7th spot tonight at third base. Then Andrew Eister back in the lineup in right field, bats 8th. And R.J. Yeager rounds out the order for the Red Sox, batting 9th. Second straight day these two teams have clashed. A home-and-home series between the Red Sox and the Whitecaps. Tringali from the stretch, bases clear, ready to pitch to Young. Here it is, first offering. Fastball misses high and away to Young for ball one. Young, the Pepperdine shortstop, has had multi-hit days for 3 days in a row. A 2-for-5 day yesterday against the Whitecaps. The 1-0. Called strike right at the knees, and it's a ball and a strike now to Wyatt Young. He has been the spark plug atop the lineup for YD. Second in the Cape League in hitting with a .378 average. Tringali with the 1-1. Young flares it, shallow left field, incoming the left fielder Franklin. He dives, he crumples up, and he makes the catch. An awkward headfirst dive for Franklin in shallow left. A nice snag for the first out. His arm bent up underneath him, but he's able to retire Young for the first out here in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, as a former baseball player, one, and a person that has broken both of his wrists, I cringe a little bit when you see the arm roll under a person like that, because that is the quickest way to break your wrist. And you can see Franklin out there still sort of working out his wrist and his hand, trying to see if everything's okay, but looks to be fine.
First pitch to Beasley is swung on and missed from Tringali on the hill. Beasley, the Cal Poly outfielder, in center today for the Sox. He went 0 for 3 yesterday with a walk. Hitting .226 on the season, but last 7 days he's hit up around 300. The 0-1. Beasley, another soft fly ball into left field. Franklin charging again, this time into left center, and this time he stays on his feet to make the running grab for the second out. So Franklin, 2 flyouts to him in left field, and that's 2 down for the Red Sox, bringing up Austin Wells. The defense today for the Whitecaps, we've already talked about Jesse Franklin out there in left. Duke Ellis is in center. Tyler Gentry's in right. Tyler Hardman at third base. Gage Workman, the man at shortstop. Mason Dodd moves from first. He's at second base tonight. And Eric Foggo back in the lineup at first. Justin Vogt does the catching for his battery mate Tringali on the hill. First pitch to Wells, skips in the dirt for ball one. Andre, I'm going to come back to you breaking both your wrists. I have some questions there for later in the ballgame. Just put a little note on that one.
Very weak wrists as a child, despite the copious amounts of milk that I drank.
Wells, the hitter at the plate. The 1-0 from Tringali. Fastball misses away. 2 balls and no strikes. Wells had a great day yesterday. 3 for 3. Hitting .333 on the season. Up to 4th in the Cape League in hitting. Here's the 2-0. Wells cracks it in the air. High center field, pretty deep. Duke Ellis pushing it back into left center. Franklin there. Ellis leaps. It's gone. Austin Wells, a towering fly ball to left center, leaves the yard. And the Red Sox are up 1-0. The 6th of the year for Wells, and he takes back the home run lead. 1-0 Red Sox. A Red Wilson special just creeps out over the wall in left center. A lazy fly ball that sneaks out of here. The wind is blowing out a bit to left center today. Maybe helped to give it a push.
Yeah, you looked at the way Duke Ellis was tracking that. I'm sure he thought he had a beat on it. He was kind of ranging back slowly, looked to be tracking it the entire way, and then all of a sudden he realized the fence was right behind him. Had to leap to make the catch with nothing doing as that one got out.
First pitch misses away to Noah Campbell hitting from the left side for ball one. Campbell, another guy with a great day yesterday. He went 3 for 4. But Wells, after a 3 for 3 day yesterday, has just torched the Whitecaps. The 1-0 to Campbell. Fastball right on the outer edge for strike one. Now a ball and a strike. Yesterday, Brewster took home the win. A come-from-behind 7-4 victory through just 7 innings against the Red Sox. They scored 6 unanswered, 2 in the 6th, and a 4 spot in the 7th to beat YD. Tringali now with the 1-1. Misses away to Campbell. 2 balls and a strike. That win helps get Brewster out of the basement in the Eastern Division. They're now at 25 points. YD sitting in second with 29, trailing Chatham by just 2. Those two have really struggled as of late. YD in the midst of a 3-game skid. Chatham has lost 2 straight. The 2-1 to Campbell. Called strike, brushes the outer edge. Now 2 balls, 2 strikes. It's 1-0 YD here in the bottom of the first. Red Sox jumped out to an early lead yesterday. They were up 3-1. Now the 2-2 to Campbell. Roped back up the middle in front of Ellis in center, and that's a base hit. So Wells and Campbell have just absolutely torched these Whitecaps so far in this series. They get back-to-back 2-out hits here in the first.
Yeah, and already it feels like the offense is in a better place than it has been these past few games. I mean, granted, yes, like you said, some better days from a couple people yesterday, but overall still not what we're used to seeing out of this offense in the midst of this 3-game skid, and already they're driving the ball better, they're making better contact. And I do think one of the things that we talked about a few games ago, Brian, was a lineup shakeup just to sort of get some new energy into this offense, and it seems to be working thus far early.
Now Tate Samuelson with 2 down. Campbell on first. First pitch to Samuelson is a fastball called strike. Campbell, since being moved down in the order yesterday, has been reawakened.
I think it's reawoken.
I'm not sure. But anyways, he's been really good since being moved down these last couple days. Check on first. He's back safely. Beasley slots in pretty well in the 2-hole. He's the last couple days hasn't gotten a hit, but seems like a good spot for him. And if Wells and Campbell can potentially provide the pop behind Young and Beasley, you never know. Maybe Andrew Eister and Riley King get going. This has the makings for one of the deepest lineups in the league. Just hasn't quite been there the last week or so. The 0-1. Misses down and away, and it skips past the catcher Vogt to the screen. Campbell moves up to second base, and YD with the man in scoring position with 2 down. Samuelson hitting from the right side. He had a 1-for-4 day yesterday with a double. Hitting .224 on the season. He does have a long ball. Tringali steps off the mound. Wants a different sign at the plate. Righty-righty matchup. Campbell dancing from second. The 1-1. Fastball called strike. Just catches the high and inside corner to Samuelson. Now a ball and 2 strikes. The Wells solo shot that just snuck out to left center is the difference so far in this one. 1-0 YD here in the bottom of the first. Tringali sets. Now the 1-2. Fastball misses away to Samuelson. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Samuelson wiggles the bat above his back shoulder. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Tringali able to set down Tate Samuelson, but the Red Sox strike for 1 on the back of Austin Wells. A solo shot to left center. 1-0 YD. We're through 1 here at Red Wilson. This is the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Top of the second, it's 1-0. The YD Red Sox lead the Brewster Whitecaps here at Red Wilson Field. Quickly run through the Brewster lineup for you. Gage Workman led off the game, then Brett Auerbach batted second in their order. Tyler Gentry struck out back in the first, and Mason Dodd was the third K of the inning as well for Tolman. He's in the cleanup hole. Hardman leads off the inning for the Whitecaps, then Jesse Franklin bats 6th. Eric Foggo, third man due up in this inning, he bats 7th. Justin Vogt from Maryland does the catching, batting 8th, and Duke Ellis, the center fielder, bats 9th tonight for the Whitecaps. First pitch of the second from Tolman to Hardman, misses down low for ball 1. We couldn't do the lineups today in the first inning just because we had a slight delay to this ball game and to our broadcast due to the power being out of our broadcast booth. 1-0, swung on and missed from Hardman, and it's a ball and a strike. But then Austin Wells brought the power in the bottom of the first inning, a solo shot out to left center to give the Red Sox the 1-0 lead. The 1-1. Slider misses low and inside to Hardman, 2 balls and a strike. Now Hardman, one of a couple guys now that was tied with Wells for the Cape League lead in home runs with 5. But Wells just launched his 6th. Both TJ Collette and Hardman of these Whitecaps. The 2-1 bounced left side. Wyatt Young gloves, throw to first to get Hardman by a couple of steps for the first out here in the second.
The left fielder from the University of Michigan.
We thought today might be a slugfest between the Whitecaps and the Red Sox, 2 of the highest slugging teams in the league. The 3 league leaders in home runs, Collette, Hardman, and Wells, entering today's action, all in these 2 rosters. Collette not in the lineup tonight. He had a home run last night to even with Hardman and Wells for the league lead. First pitch to Jesse Franklin, the Michigan Wolverine, takes a called strike, 0-1. This Brewster offense, 3rd in the league in slugging. That's their MO. They can hit the long ball. The 0-1. Fastball again notches the low and outside edge to Franklin. It's 0-2 from Tolman.
Yeah, I definitely think this Brewster team, if we think back to Fenway Day and which one of the teams really put on the best show, the biggest display in BP, this Brewster team was just peppering the monster.
0-2, just misses upstairs. Tolman almost got his 4th strikeout to Franklin. Up and down the lineup, all sorts of juice for the Whitecaps, and the wind is blowing straight out today at already the smallest Cape League Park at Red Wilson. 1-2, swing and a miss. The breaking ball fans Jesse Franklin from Tolman on the mound. That's his 4th strikeout of the day. Getting ahead of myself, but seems to have good stuff so far against the Whitecaps. 2 down here in the second.
First baseman from Stetson University.
All 4 strikeouts of the swinging variety for Tolman on the mound. That brings up Eric Foggo with 2 down. First pitch, a called strike to Foggo, the big righty. 167 hitter with 2 home runs. Another major strikeout candidate. The 0-1. Fouled back by Foggo and out of play. Quickly 0-2 from Tolman. He is working with some precision, some authority out there on the mound. Great pace so far. Only allowed 1 hit in the first. Bases clear, 2 out, 1-0 Red Sox, top 2. The 0-2 to Foggo. Fastball misses at the eyes. A ball and 2 strikes now. The 1-2, chopped foul by Foggo. We'll see another 1-2 pitch from Tolman before he throws it to line up for YD. Campbell's in left, Brad Beasley in center, and Andrew Eister in right field. Riley King still at the hot corner. It's Young and Yeager, the double play duo up the middle. And Tate Samuelson miles off first at the moment, playing Foggo the righty to pull. Wells, the battery mate of Tolman. Here's the 1-2. Bounced over the head of Tolman, back up the middle. Shift is on. Yeager, the second baseman, fields, throws, and it's not in time to first. That was the second baseman, Yeager, ranging to the left side of second with the widey middle infield shaded to the left. Had to throw across his body, and Foggo was able to beat it down the line for an infield hit to first.
Yeah, just not much you can really do there. Sort of a seeing eye single. It's about as good as one that trickles into center field with the infield shifted the way that it was. Really not much Yeager to do there on a softly hit chopper.
Now, the last time these two teams met, it was 5 2-out second inning runs for the Whitecaps. First pitch, swing and a miss to Justin Vogt, 0-1. And that all started with a walk to Eric Foggo. He's on first now with 2 outs for Brewster, 1-0 YD. The 0-1. Squared as a bunt, laid up the third base line, but a foul ball by Vogt. And Tolman now in the driver's seat, up 0-2. Vogt, the righty from Maryland, the catcher today. An open stance. The 0-2. Fastball called strike 3. Tolman gets his first looking strikeout of the day. That's 5 through 2 innings for Tolman on the mound. 1-0 Red Sox. Home half of the second coming up next here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Bottom of the second, YD on top early over Brewster. 1-0 Red Sox as it's Wold, King, and Eister due up for YD in the second inning against Cam Tringali on the mound for the Whitecaps. Wold steps in the lefty batter's box. Tringali, the righty, set to fire. And here's the first pitch of the second. It's a fastball called strike on the outer edge. 0-1 to Wold. YD took the lead last half inning in the bottom of the first on an Austin Wells solo home run to deep left center field. The 0-1 to Wolt. Fastball misses low, a ball and a strike. It was a towering pop-up really for Wells that the wind just continued to push deeper and deeper into left center. Duke Ellis, the center fielder, leapt at the wall and almost was able to steal the long ball. 1-1 to Wold. Misses down and away. 2 balls and a strike from Tringali. But just over his outstretched reach, and it's 1-0 Red Sox, and Austin Wells retakes the Cape League home run leaderboard. Now the 2-1 to Wold. He rips it up the middle into right center. That's a base hit. Ellis cuts it off in the gap. He slips a bit, but able to find his footing and chuck it back to the infield. A leadoff single for Jack Wold. And the YD Red Sox are in business again, potentially in the second against Tringali.
Riley King.
Brings up Riley King. King hitting .305, but he's been the cleanup man for about 2 or 3 weeks at this point for the Red Sox, but slid down in the order today, trying to maybe get him seeing just the ball a little bit better. Hasn't been at his full potential. Nobody out, Wold on first. Tringali from the stretch. First pitch, cut on and missed by King, 0-1. Feels like this is a move to just try to get King going, Andre.
Yeah, and it's interesting because it's like there again, hitting .305, it's not like he's having a terrible year by any stretch, but I think what this really comes down to is giving him better pitches for him to be able to drive the ball. We've seen it 18 hits, 17 of which are singles, looking to get him some better pitches, some better counts, and hopefully get him some
This one's driven deep in the air to left, looking up on it, Franklin. That's gone. Home run. A 2-run bomb for Riley King. It's a nuke fest early here in Red Wilson.
It's like what I was saying, just getting some better pitches for him to be able to drive the ball. Man, we are good at this whole setting people up to hit home run things, aren't we?
It's normally Austin Wells that you and I are able to drill, but this time it's Riley King. What a move from Pick. Move him down in the order, gets a ball to crush, and he hammers it off the netting just in front of the scoreboard. A no-doubter to left. Wells was a high fly ball that just barely cleared the wall. This one a line drive that raced out of here. 3-0 Red Sox, bottom 2. That brings up Andrew Eister. Eister, another guy that the Red Sox would love to get going. First pitch to him, breaking ball, misses inside, 1-0. Eister started the year with 3 early home runs, was hitting up above 400 before really hitting a skid. Now that average down to 264 and the home runs stagnant at 3. Here's the 1-0. Fastball called strike. A ball and a strike now to Eister. Talked to Scott Pickler today during BP about Eister's swing, Andre, and Pick is really happy that Eister is so open to making adjustments. Really feels like he is grinding right now at the plate. Here's the 1-1. Skips down and away, 2 balls and a strike. Results aren't quite there yet, and Pick's not sure if they're even close at this point, but he's really pleased with how hard Eister's working.
Yeah, and honestly, that's what it really comes down to is when things aren't really going well, are you receptive to change? Because some people are very stuck in their ways, especially some of these guys who are very high-profile talents. They'll say, look, it's worked for me before. I'm going to stick with it, and eventually it's going to right itself. But credit to Andrew Eister for being not only an incredibly talented baseball player, but, as you said, highly receptive to critiques and tweaks in his swing and change, because ultimately down the line it may end up benefiting him, and I'm sure both he and Scott Pickler hope it does.
Fouls off the 2-1. Now it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody out, 3-0 Red Sox here in the bottom of the second. Here's the 2-2 from Tringali. Fastball just misses down and away. Tringali tried to paint the lower edge, and the count is full to Eister. Deep breath on the mound from Tringali. Here's the 3-2. Fouled back by Eister, and we'll see the 7th pitch of the at-bat upcoming. 2 home runs for Whitey, the difference thus far. Austin Wells, a towering fly ball to center. Riley King, a laser to left. Whitey's offense maybe responding to a bit of a lineup shakeup from Pick. They've lost 3 straight. They've been in need of a performance like this one. Another 3-2 on its way. Swing and a miss. Eister cuts through a fastball at the letters, and he's the first out here in the second. Second K of the day from Tringali on the mound. That brings up R.J. Yeager, another man who has struggled for YD in the offensive department, hitting just 129. We know the potential's there. Has a great frame, 6'3", 200 pounds in the righty batter's box. Just hasn't quite put all the pieces together this summer. 1 down, base is empty. Pitch to Yeager. Swing and a miss through a fastball up. It's 0-1 from Tringali on the mound. Hazy clouds overhead today. Cool breeze whipping out to left. The 0-1. A breaking ball misses inside. A ball and a strike to Yeager. Now the 1-1. Another breaking ball. This time it misses low. 2 balls and a strike to RJ. Tringali, a guy who's been really good for the Whitecaps. This is already the most earned runs he's allowed this season at 3 for Brewster. Here's the 2-1. Fouled back by Yeager. 2 balls, 2 strikes. We thought the ballpark might play small today, Andre, with the wind blowing out. It's already the shallowest outfield in the Cape League. Normally plays a little bit bigger, I think, than the 350 to center, but with that wind blowing out. 2-2, fouled off by Yeager. With that wind blowing out, it is tiny, tiny, tiny.
Yeah, and you look at the way the flag is whipping in the wind right now out there in left center field, and that tells you everything you need to know. It's not. It's a little bit more than just a slight breeze, too. So really anything that gets up in the air and into that jet stream's got a good chance of getting out.
Another 2-2. Yeager takes a breaking ball. It just misses low. Yeager might have taken strike 3, but he watches it and works it full. Second straight batter for the Red Sox to get to a full count. Tringali was able to get Eister. Here's the payoff to Yeager. Fastball misses inside, and Yeager draws a one-out walk. His 4th walk of the season, and he's aboard now for the top of the Red Sox lineup, and Wyatt Young.
University, Wyatt Young.
Young flew out to left field in the first. We're in the bottom of the second. It's 3-0 Red Sox. Tringali laboring a bit here early on the mound. Yeager takes off for second, hit and run. Young pokes it through the left side for a hit. Yeager's going to stop at second as closing hard in center was Duke Ellis. Scooped it up on a hop. But the hit and run executed to perfection by Young, who just slapped it over Workman's head at shortstop into left center. Young has now hit in 4 straight days. He's aboard. Runners on first and second with one out for Brad Beasley.
Yeah, good bat control there from Wyatt Young, hitting it exactly where the shortstop would be crashing from. And Wyatt Young, a guy, along with Austin Wells, featured by the NCAA as 2 of the best bats, the best 9 bats here on Cape Cod. So a cool little honor for them to be recognized for their achievements this summer and also for their achievements at school, as both had great seasons and are following it up, both proving that their initial freshman years were no fluke.
Of those qualified, they are 2 of the top 4 hitters in average currently in the Cape League. Pretty solid 1-2 punch. The man in the middle of that sandwich today, Brad Beasley, at the plate right now. Men on first and second, 1 out. Tringali, the first pitch to Beasley, ripped foul straight back. Beasley was looking for home run number 3 for the Red Sox of this early afternoon. Got a fastball at the letters and took a big hack. Yeager on second, he walked. Young on first with the single. 3-0 YD. Long pause from Tringali. Now the 0-1. Called strike, catches the inner part of the strike zone to Beasley. A few days ago, Beasley had probably his best game of 2019 as a Red Sox. 2 for 3, walk and a run, double in there as well. Ever since he hit a game-tying 2-run shot against Hyannis, he's been scorching hot. The 0-2 misses upstairs, a ball and 2 strikes now to Beasley. Part of the mixing and matching that Pick has kind of been forced to do at the moment around Young and Wells, because like Andre and I just talked about, they have been red hot, but the rest of the lineup pretty hit or miss. The 1-2. Called strike 3. A fastball on the inner edge. Beasley is frozen. Second out here of the second inning for Tringali on the mound. 3rd strikeout for him today. With 2 down, that brings up Wells. Wells, arguably the hottest hitter, him and Zach DeLoach probably for the Falmouth Commodores of the Cape League. Wells is now in 4 straight at-bats, had 4 hits, a couple of doubles, a home run, a single, a walk, and 2 RBIs. Casual.
Slight work. Another day at the office.
For Austin Wells, it really is. Tringali sets. First pitch to Wells. Fastball misses away. Can't miss over the plate to the dangerous Wells. 1-0. Wells hitting from the left side. The 2019 Pac-12 Freshman of the Season. An early Cape League Player of the Week honor to his name as well. Here's the 1-0. Fastball this time, it's on the outside corner. Framed well by Vogt behind the plate. It's a ball and a strike. Have to feel like the way he's put up numbers this week, Andre, he's got a shot for another one.
Absolutely. He's really been the workhorse of this lineup in the middle of the order, driving in runs, knocking the ball out of the ballpark. Really probably been the most consistent bat save for Wyatt Young in this lineup.
The 1-1. Misses down and outside. That's a changeup. 2 balls and a strike now to Wells. Man on first and second. 2 down. The 2-1. Wells rips it in the air. Deep right field this time. Trotting over is Gentry. He's going to have room. Wells just missed it. And Gentry makes the catch in right center for the third and final out here of the second inning. YD gets 2. A 2-run home run from Riley King puts them up 3-0 through 2 innings of play. 9-1-2 due up for the Whitecaps. When we return, this is Red Sox baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Top of the third inning here at Red Wilson Field in South Yarmouth. Andre Sims, Brian McLaughlin with you as the wind continues to whip out to left field. Eric Tolman comes out for his third inning of work, now spotted with a 3-0 lead as YD pushed 2 across in that half inning, courtesy of the Riley King 2-run shot off the scoreboard. First pitch from Tolman is a breaking ball that frisbees wide, and it's 1-0. And just to go back to that home run for a second, Brian, we knew that the power was there for Riley King. We see it in BP. We talked about it all the time. That was the first time we think we've really seen it.
No question. I think that every once in a while he connects MVP. He's been working on a couple of things. He hit a bunch of home runs this spring for Georgia as well.
Two and one now the count. Duke Ellis, the 9-hole hitter. He rips one into left field, and that'll be a base hit. So the leadoff runner reaches for the first time tonight for Brewster. And now we cycle to the top of the order, and it's Gage Workman.
Tolman's given up 1 hit in each frame so far. None have been hit that particularly hard. He's had really good stuff thus far on the mound. He's been in and around the strike zone and hasn't been hit all that well yet. But second time through the order coming up here for Workman and company, and I think that this Brewster lineup is really dangerous right now. They've been scoring a lot of runs.
Infield shifts to double play depth. Riley King at the edge of the grass. As the first pitch to Workman is a fastball pumped in for strike one in this Sun Devil versus Sun Devil matchup. Not the first time we've had a Sun Devil v Sun Devil matchup here between these two teams. Eric Tolman faced this lineup Not the last time these two teams faced yesterday, but the time before that, as he checks over on Ellis at first. And then Boyd Vanderkoy also made an appearance against this Brewster team, going 5 innings in his final appearance for YD. Gage Workman and Boyd Vanderkoy split the 2 at-bats they faced each other in. As Workman skies one into left field, and that's going to get down for a base hit up against the wall. Ellis is going to be held at third, and Workman cruises into second base with a double as Campbell gets it into Wyatt Young, and it's second and third with nobody out.
That's definitely the first hard hit ball we've seen on Tolman. Workman's really swinging it well right now at the plate. That's why he's moved up to the leadoff spot. He was in the bottom half of the order yesterday, and really every other game against Brewster that we've seen, he's been towards the end of the order. But he's swinging it well. I think that's a smart move to move him towards the top of the lineup, and he roped that one off Tolman.
So Tolman finds himself in a jam here for the first time. Second and third, nobody down. Brett Auerbach steps in, the DH tonight, member of the Crimson Tide. First pitch to him. It's a breaking ball in there. And it's a called strike 0-1. One pitch is into the dirt, smothered by Austin Wells, and it's 1-1. Tolman comes set, slightly closed. Now delivers the 1-1. Big swing and a miss from Auerbach as he goes over the top of a breaking ball, and it's 1-2. This would be a big first out of the inning for Tolman as he looks to preserve the early shutout. It's 3-0 our score here as the 1-2 is downstairs, and it's even at 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Tolman, this inning hasn't been quite as sharp early. Softly hit single, and then the rocket of a double from Workman. But I still think his stuff is really moving a lot tonight. The slider especially looks like it's got a lateral movement to it, and the fastball's got good heat on it.
Two pitch is chopped foul back to the screen off the left side, and it's still 2-2. Wind has died down a little, at least for the moment, as the flag not quite whipping the way it was in the first couple innings.
Still blowing out, but you're right. It was really pushing, especially when that Wells home run happened. Just feels like a day where there's going to be a lot of runs. It's some warm weather. The breeze is a warm breeze blowing straight out.
Two is chopped up the middle. That'll score a run. Yeager will go the short way to first, and just beating Auerbach by a step is the throw, and it's the first out of the inning, and Brewster's on the board.
Helps to have a shortstop's arm over there at second. Yeager, the starting shortstop this past year for Mercer. That's a good play, and then he was able to set himself. And not a normal second baseman. The footwork might not have been perfect, but he makes up for it with a really strong arm.
So now it's 1 down and a runner on third, and Tyler Gentry stepped in. He struck out the first time. First pitch to him is a ball 1-0. Swinging strike from Gentry, and the count evens at 1 ball, 1 strike. Workman waits on third. Awkward swing and a miss. Gentry lost the legs on that swing, and it's 1-2. Gentry entered the day at 247 as he checks his swing on the 1-2 pitch. They'll appeal, but no swing. And it's now 2-2. Tolman comes set, looking for the second out of the inning. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball dances inside, and the count's full.
Trying to get him with that slider. Just hasn't been able to get Gentry to bite.
Gets him swinging that time, and it's the second out of the inning, Tolman's 5th strikeout.
He's really been getting the swings and misses here early.
The second baseman,
One backwards K and all the rest
Abbey
swinging.
College,
It's been that
Jason
slider mostly,
Shaw.
but he's getting the fastball by hitters as well.
So now Mason Dodd is stepping in as he grounds one over to second. R.J. Yeager over to greet it in the hole. He'll go to Samuelson, and that's the 3rd out of the inning. So Eric Tolman limits the damage here in the top of the 3rd, only allowing the 1 run to score after being in 2nd and 3rd and nobody out. It's now 3-1 Red Sox lead. We head to the bottom of the 3rd inning here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Bottom of the 3rd inning here. Beautiful day here in South Yarmouth, as Noah Campbell steps in for his 2nd at-bat of the day. Swinging the bat well, already got a single in this one, but was left stranded at second base. First pitch to him is thrown and skied into center field. Duke Ellis pushing back, but he gives way to Jesse Franklin out there and left, and he'll make the grab for the 1st out of the inning.
Tell you what, Andre, any ball in the air today, the way the wind's blowing out, the flag's pretty upright out there in left field again. I got to think that any ball in the air has a chance to sneak out of here today.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, off the bat, it's really, you really can't know either way. Something that looks like a routine fly ball can very easily sneak over the fence. So you hold your breath on anything in the air a little bit as a broadcaster. First pitch to Samuelson is an off-speed pitch that he swings over the top of, and it's 0-1. Samuelson struck out in his first at-bat of the day. One and one now, the count to Samuelson as he looks at a breaking ball that dances wide of the strike zone. One. Another breaking ball that Samuelson swings over the top of, and it's now 1-2. Red Sox looking to answer the runs put on the board by Brewster in the top half of this inning as Samuelson skies one to shallow left field. Franklin coming in, but he won't be able to dive and make the play. Samuelson will put on the brakes at first base as it was almost a second outstanding play for Jesse Franklin in left field. And that's a single for Tate Samuelson.
He loves to dive around out there. He missed last night, Andre. He almost made a great over-the-shoulder catch in center, diving onto the warning track against Noah Campbell. Just hit off his glove. He made multiple diving attempts last night as well. Already 2 tries today. He is just flying around out there and left.
You got to love an outfielder that's willing to lay out, really get his uniform dirty. That was the kind of player I was as a kid. Didn't have nearly as much success as I'm sure Jesse Franklin is, but that was my MO out there.
Yeah, he came up about 2 or 3 feet short on that one, but what the heck? He tried to give it a nice catch.
First pitch to Jack Thomas Wold is a ball downstairs. It's 1-0. Wold's seems like a kind of day that favors Jack Wold, looking to get back into the home run column with the ball flying out today. Even with going the other way, as we know he is capable of doing, it just seems like if he can really drive one, had a solid single in his first at-bat into right center field, but if he can really get one elevated, he might have a chance to leave the yard as well.
Completely agree. He's been a little banged up, but I think he's got a shot today.
1-0 pitch is outside, and it's now 2-0, so a hitter's count here for Wold.
He's gone to the batting gloves today. He's been having to get his back wrapped recently. The poor guy has just been nicked up, it feels like, all summer and not at 100%. But when healthy, as much power as anybody, I think, in this lineup, and put a really good swing on the first at-bat. I'd love to see him elevate one back up the middle.
2-0 pitch. That one just paints the outside corner, and it's 2-1. The batting gloves look good. They are some very, very nice batting gloves.
He was excited about it today during BP. He's like, yeah, I've got to get used to it, but these are nice, aren't they? He was very excited to show off they're white. There's a little bit of red and black in there, so go with the Red Sox uniform and his UNLV team as well.
I'm talking to Wold pregame is Scott Pickler has nicknamed him Crucky, a la former Phillies first baseman John Kruk, as he skies one into right center field, but it's in the park. Gentry ranging over, and he'll make the play. Samuelson retreats back to first.
Yeah, just didn't get it, just off the end of the bat. But I'm here for the nickname Crucky. I know Jack's probably a little bit more athletic than John Kruk was, and Wold moves pretty well, but I think it fits. The big left-handed hitting first baseman. I totally see that, and I like it from Pick.
Yeah, I asked Wold about it pregame. He said, hey, that's an established, long-time big leaguer, so I'll take it.
Yeah, doesn't matter what major leaguer. If you compare me to any major leaguer, I'm taking it.
This is true. Never been compared to a major leaguer in my life, so suppose he's got that on me. First pitch to Riley King is a called strike as he looks at an off-speed pitch, and it's 0-1. Riley King, of course, a big 2-run home run, his first of the year, going off the scoreboard. So they'll check on Samuelson at first. He's back with the dive. First home run of the year for Riley King, and it was an absolute laser. Out to left, got out in a hurry. In batting practice today, Scott Pickler was working on having his front elbow tucked in as he swings and misses, and it's 0-2. And we can see it now as him standing in the batter's box that he's got that front elbow tucked close to the rib cage, and evidently it worked in his first at-bat because that's probably the hardest hit ball that we've seen him hit this season.
No question, and he got it up in the air, and that thing just took off.
0-2. Good take from Riley King as he spits at the breaking ball, and it's 1-2. Samuelson waits on first. YD looking to score for the third consecutive inning to start this ball game. King awaits the 1-2. Here's the pitch. Chopped at the plate off the foot of Riley King, and it's still 1-2.
I'm shocked they gave him something to hit, and even the last pitch was close. First 2 pitches of this at-bat, they went the 12-6 curveball, and it missed down in the dirt, and he chased both times. I'd go back to that pitch if I'm Brewster.
It was a fastball that King got a hold of in his first at-bat, sent it over the wall. Would be surprised to see him get a fastball here with 2 strikes.
Not anything in the zone.
Here's the 1-2. They did go back to the breaking ball, but it was in the dirt in the left-hander's batter's box, and it's 2-2.
Yeah, just a bit too far outside. King is prone at times to chasing that pitch down in the dirt, but now you have to be careful because you missed by so much. 2 balls, 2 strikes. You don't want to give up the 2-out walk, especially up 0-2 at one point in the AB.
Riley King finds himself in a battle. Georgia Bulldog looking to keep the inning going. That one's ripped into left center field, and that one will get down in front of Jesse Franklin, diving again. Here's the throw into third. Samuelson's in with the headlong dive, and it's second and third. It's a double for Riley King.
I'm telling you, this dude loves to dive.
He is laying out left and right.
And that one bounced about probably a half a foot in front of his glove. He was able to trap it off the ground, but another really well hit ball by Riley King. I think that's a single, and he's going to move up on the throw. He wasn't going to second initially, and it's just a great day at the plate for him right now, seeing it well, and got a pitch that he could extend his arms on out over the plate and hooked it into the left center gap. Another ball that he hit well, just less air under this one.
They did eventually give him a fastball, and he took advantage of it. Got a fastball at the top of the zone, and now Andrew Eister, and this is a big opportunity for him, Brian. 2 on, 2 out, looking for an RBI chance to really get him off the schneid here. Eister facing his South Carolina teammate. Looks at the first pitch fastball above the letters, and it's 1-0.
You can just see Eister in between every pitch, taking a practice swing. Almost reminds you a little bit of Joey Votto when Votto's really slumping, just really trying to work hard at get the feel back with the swing, and Eister's really working on it right now.
1-0 to Eister. Paints the inside corner, and it's 1-1. Tate Samuelson's on third. Riley King is on second. Andrew Eister in the box. Been struggling at the plate, but the power is there. And this is a guy most definitely, if he gets a hold of one, as he fouls it weakly back to the screen. But if he elevates one, I'm almost sure of the fact that it's going to get out with the natural power that he has.
Yeah, he's got such great power, and really to all fields. Part of his issue has been that he's been almost leaking out and just popping things up weakly to the right side of the infield and not driving them to that way and being strong out in front of the baseball. That's what Pick's really working on him with. But it's just he hasn't made that solid contact with authority that it felt like every at-bat. He started the year on fire. You and I think, even had the call. We thought he was never going to get out.
Yeah.
And so when he's hot, that's the type of hitter that he can bring into this lineup.
It's a valuable extra weapon in this YD order when he's hot, as he swings over the top of a breaking ball, and that'll end the inning. So Samuelson and King get stranded on second and third. YD unable to push a runner across there, held scoreless for the first time in this ball game. It's still 3-1. You're listening to Red Sox baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Third baseman.
Top of the fourth inning here, 3-1 our score. Andre Sims, Brian McLaughlin here with you, bringing you Red Sox baseball on this fine Thursday afternoon in South Yarmouth. Didn't start too nicely today. It was muggy and overcast, really, really cloudy. The fog was pretty thick across everywhere. I can't imagine what it was like at Chatham this morning. As the first pitch from Tolman is outside for a ball, 1-1.
Thank goodness for this breeze. Had to just be like you stepped and hit a wall of fog. out in Chatham, I have to imagine, this morning. But considering how foggy it was here in South Yarmouth.
The 1-0 pitch is skied into shallow center field. Beasley will come in, and he'll make the play for the first out of the inning. So a much better start for Tolman after surrendering the run and allowing the first two runners to reach in the third inning.
Number 7, Jesse Franklin.
And Hardman's retired on the F8. So now the Sir dives a lot in left field.
That's good.
Jesse Franklin will step in. I do appreciate the selling out for every fly ball. No such thing as just letting one fall in front of you. First pitch to him is a ball upstairs, 1-0.
The reason he can dive for all these is because he's showing great range out there in the outfield. He's got really good speed, gets good jumps, making him have the ability to catch a lot of these baseballs.
Franklin, a member of the Michigan team that made the surprise run all the way to the College World Series Championship Series before ultimately falling to Vanderbilt in 3 games. Almost made the Big Ten the best baseball conference in the country.
Would have loved that.
1-1 pitch is a ball, and it's 2-1. Jesse Franklin, one of the people, it's a bit of a surprise for the people that make super deep runs into Omaha as he swings over the top of an Eric Tolman off-speed pitch, and it's 2-2. Not a ton of people who make super deep runs in the College World Series elect to then continue playing and come to Cape Cod, so good for Franklin in doing that. 2-2 pitch from Tolman. Another good breaking ball. Tolman's got a good feel for his slider, and that's the first out of the inning. Tolman's 6th strikeout.
Yeah, that's going to be tough for any lefty to hit today. Just starting and has such good break. He throws it with good velocity as well, so it's not a big looping pitch, a really sharp type break to it. I think a righty might be able to get a good feel for it and maybe just stay with that pitch, but the lefties, as Franklin just did, are going to struggle.
That breaking pitch tails away from lefties as Fago skies one into right. Eister settles under it, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Eric Tolman. So by far, Tolman's best outing of the summer. He's through 4 with just the 1 earned so far. We head to the bottom of the 4th. It was a quick inning for Tolman. You're listening to Red Sox Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Bottom of the 4th inning. 9-1 and 2 due up. Here for the Red Sox, R.J. Yeager set to lead things off. He drew a walk. His first time through the order back in the 2nd inning. Shortstop by trade, playing second base here for the Red Sox out of Mercer. First pitch to him is a breaking ball upstairs, and it's 1-0. Yeager, another person looking to really jumpstart his offense here with YD as he looks at a fastball in the inner half, 1-1. Hasn't seen consistent game time, but Now with some changes in the middle infield going forward, that may change. See, foul tips it off the mask of Vaught behind the plate, and it's 1-2. Yeager lost his elbow guard on that swing. Wyatt Young waits on deck.
Big cut from Yeager, just right off the mask. Ended up losing the elbow guard, like you said. Just another guy with a lot of potential. Walked in his first time up. I think he's seeing the ball better. Just hasn't quite gotten the swing all put together at this point.
1-2 the count to Yeager. Rolled weakly off the right side, and it's foul. Still 1-2. Still 3-1 the score here as we're through 3.5. That one is absolutely roped, but foul. Yeager sends it over the bullpen off the left side.
There's the power potential for Yeager if he can connect with the pitch and keep it between the lines. I think Pick would love to see that power showed from the gap-to-gap type power, right center to left center, but able to hook that one.
Still 1-2 to Yeager. And it's wide 2-2. And if anything, purely because of the fact that he's such a physical athlete. He's a great athlete, big physical shortstop. You know, we always talk about that he comps himself, models his game after Carlos Correa. The guy that comes to mind for me is DJ LeMahieu. So he foul tips it into the glove of Vaught, and that's the first out of the inning.
Yeah, there's a lot of upside there with an athletic ability that Yeager has. It's just a matter of putting things together for him right now at the plate. He can play defense and can play it well, but the potential draft ability and what makes him so promising is in the bat potential that he has.
You hear it often. A lot of people get drafted not so much on what they are at the college level, but because they're toolsy and what they can become with the right coaching, the right situation in the minor leagues. So a lot of people will draft guys purely based on upside alone. One of the guys that's going to be drafted based on upside and current production alone is the guy in the box right now, Wyatt Young.
Probably more so on current production, I'd imagine, than upside. Young can play multiple positions, but if you're second in the Cape in hitting, leading Pepperdine in hitting, you're going to get taken.
Another elbow guard gets lost on that swing as Wyatt Young cuts through the fastball, and it's 1-1. And I think amidst all of the things that Wyatt Young has done that have been so impressive this season, I think one of the best things, one of the most crucial things for him going forward collegiately and in terms of his draft profile is how great he's been defensively at shortstop.
Yep. Just a calming presence out there. Every time the ball's hit to Young, you think the play's being made.
Quickly bluffs a bunt, but it's outside, and it's 2-1. And that's the thing. I mean, came in as a second baseman by trade, was the everyday second baseman for Pepperdine, and simply due to a couple injuries and a couple people going home was just tossed over there at shortstop, and he absolutely has the arm strength to do it. He's got the feet to do it, the hands to do it. And it just seems, like you said, Brian, like every single play that comes his way just feels automatic that it's an out. 2-1 pitch is on the outside corner, and it's 2-2.
He's great defensively. He has good range and a really strong arm for somebody at just 5'7". I think the next step for Wyatt to take as he's developing is to be able to drive the baseball consistently in games. He's got a couple extra base knocks, but I'd love to see him be able to get one out over the wall here once or twice. 4 doubles and a triple is nothing to scoff at, but if he wants to get drafted pretty high, if he can start hitting some long balls, you're looking at a guy who's going to shoot up draft boards.
Full count here to Wyatt Young. Standing in from the left-hander's batter's box. Swings and misses at the fastball in the outer half, and that's second straight strikeout for Tringali, and that's the second out of the inning.
The center fielder.
It's interesting an adjustment that a lot of these hitters are making is the strike zone is a bit wide to the outside corner. There's about 4 to 6 inches to play with off the plate, and Wyatt Young definitely, that swing was in. This is a guy with great control of the strike zone. That swing was a pitch off the outer half, but after having that pitch get called for strike 2 as strike 1 is called on Brad Beasley, you got to swing at that pitch.
Yeah, and that's a pitch you got to go after, and Wyatt ends up coming up empty on that one, and it's a good pitch from Tringali on the mound, especially if he knows he's getting it out there.
That one comes in and nicks the shoulder of Beasley, and he's on with 2 outs.
That's where Beasley can be really important. He's a good contact hitter and can hit really line drives to all fields, but his ability to get on base, along with Young at the top of the order, if Wells, Campbell, really from then 3 through like 7 or 8, you look at that part of the order that has so much juice, so much power. So if you're looking at Wyatt Young and Beasley getting on in front of Wells, Campbell, Samuelson, Wold, King, and Eister, all can leave the yard on any given swing. That becomes such an important part of the offense.
There's a reason why Austin Wells, who's been entrenched in that 3-hole, sometimes in the 2-hole, in pacing the Cape League in home runs, was also, I'll check on Beasley at first, pacing the league in RBIs because so many of his home runs came with runners on.
Yep.
Guys like Wyatt Young setting the table for Austin Wells and Beasley as of right now. I'll check on Beasley again, once again back with the dive. Beasley had a healthy lead over there at first base.
Yeah, it's not the worst idea to get in scoring position here for Wells. You know he's got the extra base power, but in the small ballpark, it's hard to score from first, even on anything to the wall.
That one on the ground through the right side, and that's a base hit. Brad Beasley will hit the brakes, stop at second base, hit its first and second. 2 down here, and Noah Campbell striding to the plate.
Wells' hot hitting continues. Just a nice grounder through the right side of the infield. Didn't do too much with it. Beasley not testing the arm of Gentry. He's got a cannon out there in right field. Well, Beasley has good speed to go first to third, and he got a good read on that ball. No reason in testing it with 2 outs. You don't make the third out ever at third base.
So Campbell steps in now with an opportunity to pad the lead here in the bottom of the 4th. First pitch is skipped in front of home plate, smothered by Vaught behind the dish. I must say, I'm generally not a fan, Brian, of the Maryland sort of ode to the flag patterns in their uniforms, but it is a great look on the chest protector of the catcher.
Yeah, it really is, and their baseball uniforms are pretty slick. Generally, I agree. I'm not a huge fan of that look, especially their football uniforms in Maryland aren't that great, in my opinion, but I really like their baseball uniforms, and it shows up here on Vote.
So a quick hook for Tringali, as there will be a pitching change for Brewster. We will be right back and tell you all about the new arm. It's a 1-0 count on Noah Campbell. We'll be right back on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. So the new arm for the Whitecaps is going to be the lefty Peyton Alford.
At the plate, Noah
Alford out of
Newell.
Virginia Tech. Teammate of the Cape Cod strikeout leader Ian Seymour. The lefty comes in. It's been a bit of a struggle for him this season. He's got an ERA north of 5.5. But the advantage is it flips Noah Campbell around to the right side with a 1-0 count. Runners on first and second, and the first pitch to him is a fastball pumped in for strike one, and it's 1-1. Peyton Alford on the year 0-1, gone 14 1/3 innings, given up 9 runs, 8 walks, and 8 strikeouts.
Did you already purchase tickets or?
The runners on first and second, and that will now be on second and third as the two will advance as Beasley takes a wide turn at third base and Vaught ultimately corrals the baseball.
Good thing Vaught found that quickly. Beasley, great speed, got a good read on the ball. Like you said, big turn. If Alford hadn't covered home plate or if Vaught doesn't see that ball right away, it trickled all the way towards the Red Sox on deck circle. Beasley's trying to score there.
The two runners on are the responsibility of Tringali. Beasley on third base, Austin Wells now on second. Big time 2-out RBI opportunity for Campbell's. The 2-1 pitch is downstairs, and it's now 3-1. Brewster opted to make the pitching change mid-at-bat, flip Noah Campbell around from the left to the right side. And now they will decide to put him on.
Base open, I understand it. They think better shot at Tate Samuelson maybe. I get it, once you have that base open, you don't want to throw to a hitter as dangerous as Campbell, especially once you get to a 3-1 count. But now it's up to Samuelson, who's been hitting it well, a single already today, to really drive the baseball, getting to see a lefty here. I think Samuelson is an underrated player perhaps in this Red Sox lineup. I think he can really
100%.
swing it.
Big time opportunity now for Tate Samuelson, and I got to imagine as a batter, if someone gets intentionally walked in front of you so they choose to pitch to you, it's got to light a little fire inside you. So a big time opportunity here for Tate Samuelson to, 1, extend the lead, and 2, sort of make a personal statement.
Yeah, I think it just says, okay, go ahead. You want to face me? I think that has to be your attitude a little bit.
Samuelson waves over the breaking ball, and it's 0-2.
It's a nice pitch. Really a lot of drop on that big kind of. So we talk about Seymour the lefty, or rather Tolman the lefty for the Red Sox today. Really sharp side-to-side break. That was a big, high arcing breaking ball that was top to bottom from Alford.
0-2 the count to Samuelson. Here's the pitch. It's another breaking ball, and it froze Samuelson as it catches the outside corner, and that'll end the inning. YD strands the bases loaded. That's 5 runners left on in the past 2 innings. We'll see if that proves to be a factor as this game goes on. We're through 4 here at Red Wilson Field. 3-1 our score. You're listening to Red Sox Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Top of the fifth inning, it's 3-1, the YD Red Sox over the Brewster Whitecaps. Couple of home runs for YD, has them out in front here trying to snap a 3-game losing skid for the Red Sox. Still Eric Tolman on the hill for YD. Vogt, Ellis, and Workman due up for Brewster in this half of the fifth inning. Vogt struck out looking against Tolman on the mound back in the second. Here's the first pitch of the fifth. Bouncer, left side. Young, the shortstop, to his left. Fields and throws from behind second, and he retires Justin Vogt. One pitch went out for Tolman on the bump here in the fifth.
From the University of Texas.
Vogt now 0 for 2, and Duke Ellis will now bat for the second time. The lefty from Texas singled and scored the lone run of the night for the Whitecaps in the third inning. Couple of third inning hits plated Ellis. First pitch of this at-bat, a breaking ball right down the middle for strike one. Tolman entering his fifth inning of work out on the hill. Just over 70 pitches. The 0-1 misses inside and it plunks him. Sends Ellis to the ground. Hit him low around the right leg. And he'll trot down to first. And he'll sprint through the first base bag, much to the applause of the Brewster dugout. After a couple jogging steps, he took off. A man aboard first base, one out now for the Whitecaps. Top of the order for Brewster, it's Workman. He doubled off Tolman in the third inning. That double moved Ellis to third before the ground out from Auerbach scored Ellis. First pitch to Workman. Changeup misses low and outside for ball one. Workman, the switch hitter from Arizona State, facing his Sun Devil teammate on the mound, Eric Tolman. Strikeout and the double for Workman today. Check on first. Ellis is back standing. Ellis 1 for 1 in stolen base attempts this season. Middle infield at double play depth for the Red Sox. A ball and no strikes to Workman. 3-1, Whitey leads at top 5. The 1-0. Swing and a miss. Workman over the top of a breaking ball. A ball and a strike now. Tolman really struggled the last time out against Brewster. Allowed 8 runs, only 4 earned in 4 1/3. He's gone 4 1/3 today, only the 1 earned run allowed. To go with 7 strikeouts. Another toss to first, but Ellis is back head first. YD has lost 2 straight home games to go with that 3-game losing streak. Tolman throws to first. They have Ellis picked off. Samuelson chasing him to second. Now he'll throw. Wyatt Young has the baseball. Chasing Ellis back to first. The throw. Tolman the swipe tag. It does get a piece of Ellis. And there's the second out here in the 5th inning. Ellis caught in no man's land between first and second. Whitey middle infields. And Tolman execute the rundown to perfection. And now there's 2 down in the 5th. Tolman got him with the high leg kick. A ball and a strike to Workman. Whitey 3, Brewster 1. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. Workman out in front of a changeup. Now a ball and 2 strikes. Here's the 1-2. Slider misses high and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes now from Tolman. Bullpen has a little action for YD. Nobody up and tossing yet, just some stretching going on at the moment. The 2-2. Grounder, left side. King ranging to his left at third. Gloves, throws from the grass in time to get Workman. Tolman works around a hit by pitch. He is through 5, just 1 run allowed. 3-1, YD leads it. Home half of the 5th inning coming up next on the Cape Cod Baseball Elite Network. Bottom of the fifth, 3-1, YD over Brewster. Wold, King, and Eyster due up for the Red Sox here in the fifth. Peyton Alford out on the mound in what is now his second inning on the hill. He came in relief for Cam Tringali back in the fourth. First pitch to Wold, misses down low in this lefty-lefty matchup, ball one. Final line for Tringali. He goes 3 2/3, 8 hits, but only 3 runs. All 3 are earned, 1 walk to 6 strikeouts. 1-0 breaking ball, hits Wold right in the middle of the back. He turns, flinches, but the ball falls at his feet, and Wold is aboard to start the fifth for YD.
Yeah, the 3 runs allowed could have been a lot worse for Tringali's. YD left a lot of runners on base, 8 through the first 4 innings.
Left 1 on in the first inning, 2 on in the second, 2 in the third, and they just left them loaded in the fourth. Batting here in the bottom of the fifth, 3-1 on top of the Whitecaps. Riley King to the plate. He has had a great day. A 2-run home run and a single for King. First pitch from Alford. Splits the plate, fastball called strike. Alford, the lefty from Virginia Tech. His 8th appearance, all out of the bullpen this year for Brewster. The 0-1. King bounces it off the end of the bat, foul up the first base side. Now down in the count, 0-2. It might have been a changeup from Alfred on the mound. No real shadows playing an effect tonight. Overcast skies. Partly cloudy here at Red Wilson. Wind still pushing out to left. The 0-2. Misses in the dirt, smothered by Vogt behind the plate. A ball and 2 strikes now to King. We started a few minutes late today due to a power outage around Red Wilson at the Dennis Yarmouth High School just behind us. Check on first. Wold is back standing. So we'll see how much we get through today with the cloud cover, sunset. Before this one, again, the potential to be called due to darkness. No lights here at Red Wilson Field. The 1-2 to King. Misses away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. First pitch officially came in at right around 5:08. So we're at just over an hour and a half so far through this one. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Alford sets. The pitch to King. Rips the foul down the third base line.
He's seeing the ball well today.
Pick had to dance out of the way. That one was hit really hard again. I think you're right. Both his hits today have been smoked. That was a loud foul ball. King an even stance. The Georgia Bulldog brings the bat back. A tight wiggle. The 2-2. Fouls off a changeup on the up and outside portion of the zone. We'll see another 2-2 from Alford to King. Wold on first, nobody down, 3-1 Red Sox. Couple other Cape League games just getting underway. The 2-2 to King. This one's drilled. It's deep in the air to center. Ellis is going back on it. He looks up. That's gone. Second home run of the day for Riley King. 5-1 Red Sox.
That home run by Riley King.
Have a day, Riley King. He crosses home plate. Wold scores on a Riley King blast for the second time today. Best day as a Red Sox so far. Riley King now has 2 long balls, a single sprinkled in as well. He's accounted for 4 of the 5 Red Sox runs today.
And you hear it as he gets back into the dugout. Our crowd mic picked it up, shouts to our crowd mic. Guys in the dugout's going, "Who are you today?" Because this is a complete coming out party for Riley King.
First pitch to Andrew Eyster, a breaking ball in there for strike 1. King's been hitting the ball well, but maybe the lineup shake-up from Pick did him some good. Slid from the 4 cleanup hole to the 7 spot today, and he has mashed The 0-1 to Eister, swing and a miss. Through a high fastball, it's 0-2. 2 two-run home runs. Jack Wold and Riley King have provided the punch today. Wells a home run in there as well. Alfred winds now at the bases clear in the bottom of the 5th. The 0-2. Eister gets a piece of the big curveball. Stays alive. That was, again, just a line drive that cleared the wall in center field. Off the bat, you knew it was hit well. Ellis in center field just turned, ran, and barely scraped over that center field wall. Couple of shakes of the head on the mound from Alford. Now he gets a sign he likes. Another 0-2. This breaking ball skips in the dirt off the mask of Vogt. A ball and 2 strikes now to Eister. How important is that if Riley King can start swinging the bat like this?
Yeah, it's a vital weapon in addition to Wells and Young, especially if you keep him at this chunk of the lineup, because then while the bottom half of the lineup has been playing better of late,
1-2 misses high and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Eister.
there's not a ton of thump in the bottom of the order. It's a lot of very high contact, high speed guys. If you have a guy like Riley King that can drive the ball to break up the sort of contact approach of 6, 7, 8, and 9, that's a huge addition to being able to turn over your lineup.
Eister cuts and misses at another breaking ball. Tough day at the plate for him. His 3rd strikeout. Another guy that, if he could get going, same impact as Riley King with that thump, but Eister in the midst of a slump. 1 down now for R.J. Yeager. 9-man in the order for the Red Sox. It's 5-1 YD over the Whitecaps here in the bottom of the 5th. First pitch to Yeager. Breaking ball, called strike right on the inside corner. Yeager's 0 for 1 with a walk today. Here's the 0-1. Another breaking ball, this time below the knees to Yeager. A ball and a strike. Now, do you think King stays in the 7 spot after a day like this?
Honestly, as much as the temptation would be to move him up because he's seeing it well, I see no issue with keeping him at this point in the order.
1-1 misses away. 2 balls and a strike. I agree.
Yeah, because like I said, I mean, it's good to have some thump interspersed throughout your lineup, and to have a guy who's as independent of today's game has already been a 300 hitter, to have that sort of firepower somewhere in the bottom of your order never can hurt.
2-1 breaking ball misses to Yeager. 3 balls and a strike. And I mean, Samuelson and Wolds at the moment separate Campbell and King in the middle of that order. And they both have a hit today. Wold has scored twice. 3-1 to Yeager. Checked his swing. He did go around. Full count now to Yeager with 1 down. So I agree. This is honestly one of my favorite lineups that Pick's put together at this point of the season. I think Campbell fits in perfectly in the cleanup hole. Some protection for Wells. Here's the 3-2 to Yeager. This one's hit hard in the air to center field. Ellis started in. Now he backs up and he makes the catch. Really didn't have to move. 2 down now after the fly out from Yeager, and that brings up Wyatt Young. No sense in moving Wyatt Young around. The man is hitting .378. He has a hit today. Brad Beasley, I think, is your prototypical 2-man. Can hit the ball hard to all fields, handle the bat, lay down a bunt, hit and run if needed. Wells isn't going to be touched in that 3-hole. And I really like everyone else in the order at the moment. Bases clear, 2 outs for Young. First pitch from Alford. Misses low and away, ball 1. One for 3 days so far for Young. Looking for his 4th straight multi-hit day. The 1-0. Breaking ball misses away. 2 balls and no strikes. 5-1 Red Sox lead it on the back of 3 home runs. 1 from Austin Wells, 2 from Riley King. Believe it or not, Andre, it had been 5 games without a Red Sox homer coming into today. Young chops the 2-0 foul at the plate. 2 balls and a strike.
And that really just goes to show we were talking about a couple games ago, in that this team was just a little gassed. It felt like they weren't driving the ball the same because they weren't. We're used to the things being off the screws and hard line drives to all field and the ball leaving the ballpark.
2-1, popped up, fouling out of play by Young. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And that hadn't been the case, and we got a little bit of it yesterday, some signs that there was life, a bit of a pulse in this offense, and now, of course, the breakout that seemed like it had been coming.
Bases are clear. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. 5-1 Red Sox lead it. Here's the pitch. Fouled off again by Young, out of play. I would agree. It feels like that this power especially carried the Whitey team early in the season. They kept getting big extra base knocks. Slugging percentage led the league. It's dipped down to 4th in the Cape League. That slugging percentage number. 3 home runs today should raise that a few notches. Another 2-2. Breaking ball stays upstairs to Young, and the count is full with 2 down. Neither of Riley King's home runs needed any wind aid to get out of here. Neither were high enough to be pushed by the wind. Young, another foul ball. Deep at bat for Wyatt Young. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Infield straight away for Young. As always, chokes up on the all-black bat. A payoff pitch. Misses down low for ball 4, and Wyatt Young draws a 2-out walk. His 7th walk of the season, and he's aboard for Brad Beasley. Beasley was hit by a pitch in the 4th and was stranded on 3rd. Hitless today.
Brad Beasley.
Long 5th inning for Alfred out here on the mound. The relief man has thrown 1 total inning. Got 1 out in the 4th, 2 so far in the 5th. First pitch to Beasley is fouled back and out of play. Long inning for him out here on the mound. 2 runs so far on the 2-run Riley King line drive to center field. He's got 1 to left and 1 to center. 2 home runs today. 0-1 to Beasley. Called strike on the outer edge. Do we think he gets 1 to right field in his next time up?
Would not be surprised the way he's swinging the ball right now. He's absolutely squaring it up.
Outfield relatively shallow here for Beasley. The 0-2. Young takes off. Beasley grounds it foul up the third base line. Young reading the slow breaking ball from Alford out on the hill. Tried to take advantage and getting to scoring position. (5-1) Red Sox, bottom of the 5th. Young with 5 stolen bases on the season. He has been caught 3 times. Another 0-2, swing and a miss. Alford gets Beasley on a changeup, but Whitey adds 2 more in the 5th. Another 2-run blast for Riley King. There was just the 1 hit in the frame, no errors. 1 man is left aboard for the Red Sox. 6th inning coming up next here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Top of the 6th inning, and Eric Tolman still out on the mound. The YD starter, looking for the longest start of the year for any YD Red Sox arm. He's gone 5 strong so far, only allowed 1 run, 4 hits throughout. First pitch to Brett Auerbach as we begin the 6th is fouled back and out of play for strike 1. Auerbach singled in the first inning off of Tolman. Also hit an RBI ground out in the 3rd. From the right side, Tolman brings the 0-1. Fastball misses outside, a ball and a strike. That's pitch number 75 for Tolman on the day. The 1-1. Breaking ball crushed, but way foul. Auerbach turned and burned on a breaking ball on the inner edge. Strike 2. He got all of it, but pushed it foul. YD leading 5-1 here as we begin the 6th. 3 long balls for the Red Sox today, breaking out from a bit of a power slump at the plate. The 1-1. Bounced down the third baseline, foul. Caught a piece of Auerbach's foot. A ball and 2 strikes. Riley King with 2 long balls, his first 2 of the year. Only had 1 extra base hit coming in. He only had 3 RBIs coming in. All of a sudden, he has 4 ribbies today. That'll help his slugging percentage. Nobody out, a ball and 2 strikes in the 6th to Auerbach. The pitch, swing and a miss. Eric Tolman, his 8th strikeout of the day on the mound. He's had the hook working. Gets another strikeout via the slider.
The right fielder from the University of Alabama.
Righty-lefty, it has not mattered for Tolman on the mound today. He has struck out them all. Tyler Gentry can speak of that firsthand. He's 0 for 2 with a couple of Ks today. This at-bat, first pitch, called strike, the fastball. Tolman works ahead of Gentry.
I've been super impressed with Eric Tolman today. I mean, he's attacking hitters. He's working quickly. He's got a confidence that we just haven't seen from him this season.
Gentry squares to bunt, pops it up foul up the third baseline, and Tolman's up 0-2. Mostly a reliever for the Arizona State Sun Devils this past spring, but was one of their best arms out of the pen. Potential weekend starter, it looks like, for Tolman at this rate.
Yeah, and I believe he had a couple of midweek starts as well tossed in there. But this is his chance really to prove to both Scott Pickler and to Tracy Smith that, hey, this is something I can do.
0-2 misses outside, a ball and 2 strikes. Currently tied for the longest start as a Red Sox this season. 1-2, misses down and in. Hardman saying it hit him, rather Gentry saying it hit him on the foot. But the Red Sox disagree, and Gentry's going to go back to the batter's box. 2 balls, 2 strikes, just missed down and inside. Longest start of the year for a Red Sox, 5 1/3 from Jack Leftwich against Harwich. The 2-2. Bounced, third base side. King on 2 hops at third. Overhands a throw to first in time to get Gentry. And it's now Eric Tolman who holds the longest start of the season for a Red Sox starter. 5 2/3 today thus far for Tolman. Just up over 80 pitches. A little bit of action in the Red Sox bullpen, but this is definitely his inning at this point.
Absolutely. At this point, there's no reason to take him out before finishing this inning. Got the lead to play with, has been absolutely dominant. The curveball's working, slide, whatever you want to call it.
First pitch misses away on that off speed to Dodd, 1-0.
The fastball's been 87 to 89. The off speed, whether it be the changeup or the breaking ball, sitting about 10 miles per hour off that, around 77, 78.
1-0, misses away on a fastball, 2 balls and no strikes.
And when he's been locating it the way that he has, that 10 mile per hour difference, despite only really topping out at 87 to 89, that 10 mile per hour plays so well.
2-0, broken bat, 1 hopper gets under the glove of King into left. Bat shattered off the end of the bat. It's going to be a soft ball into left field. King tried to charge it and pick the short hop, just snuck under his glove, and now Pick's coming out to the mound. A base runner, 2 outs. Tolman wants to finish this inning. 5-1, the Red Sox lead it. Tyler Hardman, 5 home runs, is coming up next. Pick already signaling to the bullpen. Tolman visibly upset out there on the mound.
Falmouth, Mashpee, Wareham, or Yarmouth this summer. and try some local flavor.
They rule it a hit underneath Riley King's glove at third base. It was an awkward play, and Brady Corrigan's going to relieve Tolman. A fine outing for Eric Tolman. Corrigan coming in to replace him. 5 2/3 for Tolman. Only 1 run allowed, and he gets a nice ovation from the fans. 5-1 Red Sox. We'll be back for the remainder of the 6th coming up next here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Brady Corrigan on the mound trying to finish the 6th for the Red Sox in relief of Eric Tolman, who just had an outstanding performance on the mound for YD. Tolman goes 5 2/3, 5 hits, no walks, 8 strikeouts for Tolman on the mound. Line not yet complete as his day ended on a Mason Dodge single. He's on first with 2 outs. First pitch to Tyler Hardman, a breaking ball from Corrigan in there for strike 1. Only 1 run allowed at this point from Tolman. One of the best starts we've seen from the Red Sox staff yet. 5-1, they lead it here in the top of the 6th. Corrigan from the stretch with Dodd leading from first. The 0-1. Breaking ball misses in the dirt to Hardman. Check swing. Hardman did go around, and it's 0-2. Hardman, a dangerous batter at the plate, but he's 0 for 2 today. He has 5 home runs on the season, a couple of doubles, but he has struck out 27 times. Little surprised that after all the strikeouts for Tolman, he never got Hardman to K today. Corrigan has him up 0-2. The pitch, fastball just high and away, a ball and 2 strikes. Red Sox playing a complete game so far today, it feels like. They've left 9 men on the base paths, but really putting it all together, it feels like today. Up 5-1 in the 6th. The 1-2 misses down and away to Hardman. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Good block by Wells. 3 home runs have done all the scoring for YD. Haven't been able to manufacture any runs. I suppose that's the most critique I could give to this point. But the defense and Tolman have been stellar on that side of the baseball. The offense has swung at 9 hits through 5 innings. The 2-2, ripped foul. Look out, up into the bleachers on a hop down the third baseline. Still 2-2 to Hardman. Hardman, almost 1/3 of his hits this season have gone for home runs. 16 knocks, 5 long balls. When he connects, he sends it a long way. The Oklahoma Sooner digs back in. Here's the 2-2. Fastball just off the plate away. Now the count is full. That one looked good from Corrigan. Tolman pulled from the game with 86 pitches after the single from Dodd. Corrigan's inning to finish now. The 3-2. Fouled off. Hardman chased a breaking ball high and tight. Probably ball 4. We'll see another payoff from Corrigan to Hardman.
Yeah, I got around way too early on that one. Probably connected with it about at his neck and probably about a foot in front of home plate as he hooked it foul.
Open stance for Hardman. Chokes up on the bat. 3-2, 2 outs. 5-1 Red Sox. The pitch. Bounced foul. Closer to the third baseline this time, but also wide of the bag.
Kid there selling out into foul territory trying to make that play.
Definitely not supposed to be out there down that third base line. Another 3-2 upcoming from Corrigan. Here's the pitch. Broken bat flare, shallow left field. Now actually Campbell towards the line. He's there and he makes the catch. Corrigan able to end the 6th, completing Eric Tolman's line. 5-1 Red Sox through 5.5 here at Red Wilson. This is the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Leading off for the base.
Bottom of the 6th inning, it's 5-1 Red Sox. They come to bat against Jimmy Ramsey, the 6'9" right-hander from Kentucky, in relief tonight for the Whitecaps. Third time these Red Sox have seen Ramsey. This will be his 6th appearance, 3rd against the Red Sox. Big righty from the windup, facing Austin Wells to begin this sixth. First pitch fastball in there for strike one. Nice welcoming party here to face Ramsey. He gets Wells, Campbell, and Samuelson. Here's the 0-1 to Wells. Breaking ball stays outside, a ball and a strike. Last time out against YD, Ramsey worked 2 innings on the mound. Did not allow an earned run, but he gave up 5 runs. Struck out 1, no walks. The 1-1. Fastball misses away to Wells. Now 2 balls and a strike. In his first appearance against the Red Sox, Ramsey went 2 1/3, gave up 1 earned run, but 3 runs. Here's the 2-1 to Wells. Nubbed up the third baseline, fair ball. Hardman rounds it at third, overhands to first, just in time to get Wells. I can't believe it, neither can Wells. Sure looked safe from here. No replay, however, in the Cape League, and that's the first out here of the sixth.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about that one. Looked like Austin Wells had that one beat hustling down the line.
Looked like Wells had it by about a full half step, but called out at first, and there's the first out of the sixth inning. Wells is now 2 for 4 today. Campbell to the plate. He's 1 for 2 with a single, hitting from the left side against Ramsey. First pitch to Campbell. Again, bounced softly, third baseline. This time it's foul. Wells gave it the old hop up and down after crossing the first base bag. Justin Rowe still talking down that first baseline. He was pretty positive Wells was safe. The 0-1 to Campbell. Misses inside, a ball and a strike. It was a softly hit ball off the bat of Wells, something really rare. Hardman took his sweet time fielding it at third and had a good throw to first, but it wasn't a laser over there. The 0-1 to Campbell. Swing and a miss. Actually, that was the 1-1 pitch. Now a ball and 2 strikes. But Wells had 7 triples this spring at Arizona. Has great speed. Many think of him as just a big power hitter. Arguably the best athlete on this YD team. 1-2, ripped foul up the first baseline, this time by Campbell. Still a ball and 2 strikes. My point before the Wells bang-bang play at first. Ramsey has allowed 8 runs against the Red Sox this season in 4 1/3, but only 1 earned. 1-2, swing and a miss from Campbell. Second out here of the sixth, first K for Ramsey. So the defense has not bailed out Jimmy Ramsey against these Red Sox.
Yeah, it's kind of a similar sort of thing that happened to Eric Tolman, where he got really screwed by the unearned runs in his last start against this Brewster team. And also another person that had to sort of deal with that was Boyd Vanderkoy in his starts. Had 3 unearned runs in his first and I believe 2 in his second start with YD. So there's been a couple pitchers who, despite pitching well, don't have the best records to show from it.
First pitch misses to Tate Samuelson for ball 1. That game where both Tolman allowed 4 unearned runs and Ramsey 5 was in a 13-7 Brewster win. The 1-0 misses away to Samuelson. 2 balls, no strikes. 5-1 Red Sox tonight, bottom of the sixth. 2 outs, bases clear for Samuelson. And that was a night where Brewster struck often with 2 outs. 11 of their 13 came with 2 outs. The 2-0 misses at the eyes. 3 balls and no strikes to Samuelson. And of the 20 runs scored, over half were unearned in a sloppy game at Stony Brook Field in Brewster. The 3-0 to Samuelson. Misses inside, a 4-pitch walk issued from Ramsey, and Samuelson is aboard for the second time today. A little bit better played game tonight. Yet to have an air between the Whitecaps and Red Sox. It has been great pitching for the Red Sox. Eric Tolman went 5 2/3, only allowing 1 run in his start tonight against the Whitecaps. And the long ball tonight for the Red Sox. 3 home runs to account for all 5 of their runs. First pitch to Wold, swing and a miss. Strike 1. Wold has been aboard for 2 of those 3 home runs. Singled in the second. Riley King on deck has both of those home runs. Wold singled in the second and scored, and was hit by a pitch in the 5th and scored. The 0-1. Misses inside to Wold, a ball and a strike. So Wold 1 for 2, also a fly out to left for him today. An open stance from the left side. Big lead for Samuelson at first. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. Now a ball and 2 strikes to Wold. At this point, if you're the Red Sox, you want to get Riley King up to the plate as much as possible. He's 3 for 3 with 2 home runs today, folks. Great day for Riley King. The 1-2 to Wold. Swing and a miss. We'll have to wait to the 7th to see King bat again. YD strands 1 here in the 6th. There were no runs, no hits, no errors, and just the 1. Samuelson left aboard. 5-1 Red Sox were through 6. This is the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Top of the 7th, it's YD 5, Brewster 1 here at Red Wilson Field in South Yarmouth. Franklin, Foggo, and Vogt due up for the Whitecaps in their half of the 7th against Brady Corrigan. First pitch to Franklin, called strike on the outer edge, 0-1. Corrigan in relief. He entered in the 6th inning with 2 outs and was able to force a fly out to end the frame. The 0-1 to Franklin. Ripped into right field, going back on at the right fielder Eister. He settles underneath it, and he makes the catch. Had to go about 10 feet back towards the fence, and there's the first out of the 6th issued from Corrigan.
And this is going to be the biggest thing for this YD bullpen in this one is can they get quick outs? It's when they start getting into consecutive 3-ball counts and the walks start coming, the hits start coming. As long as they stay ahead of these hitters and can work quickly, this bullpen unit is solid.
Pinch hitter now for the Whitecaps, TJ Collette. He hit a monster 2-run home run last night that gave the Whitecaps the lead at the time, and a come from behind Whitecaps win against these Red Sox. His 5th home run of the summer. First pitch inside, and it hits Collette. Corrigan slipped out there on the mound. He immediately looked down at his footing, and Collette's aboard first base with 1 down on the hit by pitch. Collette 5 home runs on the summer, was tied for the league lead entering today with teammate Tyler Hardman and Austin Wells. Wells with the home run, however, today to push his total to 6 and lead the league by 1. 1 down now for Justin Vogt from Maryland. He's 0 for 2 today. The catcher, Corrigan in relief for Eric Tolman. A sparkling outing for Tolman. The starter today for YD. First pitch to Vogt. Ripped down the left field line. That's hammered, but it's going to be a foul ball. Long, loud strike from Vogt. Tolman's final line, 5 2/3, 5 hits, 1 run. 1 run it was earned. 0 walks, 8 strikeouts for the Sun Devil. 1 out here in the top of the 7th. His teammate Corrigan on the hill. The 0-1 inside, and it hits another Brewster Whitecap. Back-to-back hit by pitches from Corrigan on the mound. Vogt is plunked on the left shoulder. The men are on first and second now for Brewster with just 1 down here in the 7th. YD led it 4-1 yesterday. Whitecaps unreeled 6 unanswered runs, 2 in the 6th, 4 in the 7th to take it against the Red Sox. Corrigan did not pitch at all yesterday out of relief. Whitey does have a righty up and tossing in their bullpen.
The newest addition, Oscar Carvajal, warming.
First pitch to Duke Ellis. Breaking ball in there for strike 1. Ellis got his first hit of the season today. Singled and scored the lone Whitecaps run in the 3rd. The 0-1. Chopped back to Corrigan. Fields on a bounce. Throws to Wyatt Young. Makes the catch and the hold at second. Young just keeps his foot on the bag. Acrobatic by Wyatt Young out there. Whitey able to get 1. Ellis, great speed. No throw from Young to first. Young had to cross his legs as he was covering second base. Corrigan's throw dragged Young towards first, but he keeps the bag for the second out, a massive out here in the 7th.
Yeah, and you could argue potentially maybe with the better throw you had a chance at 2, but incredible effort there from Wyatt Young just to keep his foot on the bag, and he very quickly, after catching that, pointed back to the bag to make sure the umpire knew, hey, my foot was still on there.
Now top of the lineup, engage Workman. Whitey leads it 5-1 here in the top of the 7th. Switch hitter Workman from the left side. Corrigan delivers. First pitch in there for strike 1. It's been the Sun Devil special today on the mound for YD. Tolman and now Brady Corrigan. Gage Workman at the plate. Also, a Devil. Can I call a Devil, or does it have to be?
We say Devils all the time.
Okay.
Most people don't even say the Sun.
Oh, the 0-1. Pitch out. Nothing doing on the base paths for the Whitecaps. Wells thought about picking behind Ellis at first. Good to know. I don't have to say Sun Devils every single time.
Devils is honestly probably used more often than Sun Devils. Like you say Sun Devils if you're introducing it at the top of the broadcast and whatnot, but throughout the game, if you're using it on air, more often than not, just Devils.
1-1, misses away. 2 balls and a strike to the Devil Workman.
There it is.
He's 1 for 3 today with the double. Probably the hardest hit ball off of Tolman. He hit from the right side against the southpaw. Tolman now against Brady Corrigan. Flips around and bats lefty. Runners on the corners. 2 down for the Whitecaps. 5-1 Red Sox lead it. Tolman from the stretch. The 2-1. Breaking ball misses low. 3 balls and a strike.
And these are the sort of nervy moments for this Red Sox bullpen of how do they respond after a couple of base runners. And the thing that's got to be frustrating for this Whitey team, this Whitey bullpen especially, is that it's never necessarily, very rarely is it just hit after hit after hit after hit, solid contact going 5, 6, 7 consecutive hits. It's the timely hit that's sandwiched around it's usually walks or hit by pitches as Corrigan has given up in this half inning. And that's the thing where if they can limit the free passes, this unit becomes exponentially better because there's just less traffic on the base pass that they have to work around. It seems like so often these bullpen arms are dealing with runners on base, not because they're getting shelled, but because it's walks and hit by pitches.
They have often fallen behind runners as well, which then leads to the big hit. 3 balls and a strike here to Workman. Wells, a quick visit out to talk to Corrigan. He returns behind the plate. The 3-1. Change up misses down and away. Ball 4, and the bases are loaded. Tying run coming to the plate for the Whitecaps here in the 7th. Whitey leads it 5-1. That draws Brett Auerbach to the plate. Auerbach with 2 home runs so far in the season. Like almost everybody in this lineup for the Whitecaps, has some major pop.
Designated hitter.
Whitecaps have loaded the bags without a hit in the inning. A couple of hit-by pitches, a fielder's choice, and now a walk. 2 down, top 7, 5-1. The Red Sox lead the Whitecaps, but far from a comfortable lead. And Pick might have seen enough from Corrigan. He's out of the dugout. Looks like it might be the bullpen arm. Carvajal was warming. Slow walk out there for Pick, trying to make sure his man is ready down the line.
Cape Cod Healthcare is the leading provider of healthcare services.
Pick making the signal. Here comes the relief man. Bases are loaded. Top 7. YD holding a 5-1 lead over the Whitecaps. We'll have more coming up next on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Top of the 7th, the bases are loaded. New arm on the mound for YD. It's Oscar Carvajal from Fresno State on for the Red Sox. With them loaded, Brett Auerbach at the plate for the Whitecaps. They're trailing by 4, 5-1. YD leads it here in the top of the 7th. Carvajal, the righty from Fresno State. First pitch, fastball in there for strike one. Carvajal has been used often since arriving from Fresno State. Only allowed 1 run in 3 innings so far. That 1 run came yesterday against Brewster, and he's not the one who gave up the hit that scored the run. An inherited runner. The 0-1. Called strike, throw behind the runner at third, but Wells ended up just lofting it to Riley King, who was well behind the bag. YD's catchers pick to runners more than any other team.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. And we saw, early in the season, it was working really well for them. We saw them get some really crucial outs via the pickoff game, especially on the back pick, with guys like Cardenas and Wells who have really strong, accurate, quick arms behind the dish, especially going behind the runner to third. That's a weapon that they can use.
The pitch to Auerbach. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Oscar Carvajal comes in with them loaded and fans Brett Auerbach. YD still leads it 5-1. It's stretch time here at Red Wilson. We'll be back for the bottom of the 7th. This is the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
third baseman from the University
Hottest hitter
of
in this
Georgia,
YD order steps in.
King.
Riley King, who's had himself his best outing thus far in a Red Sox uniform, steps back in. He's just a casual 3 for 3 with 2 home runs, 4 RBI, and a single to boot as he steps in to lead things off against Jimmy Ramsey. First pitch swinging, and Riley King gets another base hit. As it went through the left side, it was smothered by Workman at short, but he was unable to make the play on it. Rolls over on his wrists a little bit, and it's a leadoff single for Riley King. He's 4 for 4.
The right fielder from the University of South Carolina.
Andrew Eister now will step in as he's had himself a tough day at the plate. 0 for 3 with a hat trick of strikeouts. Guy that's still struggling to find his form at the plate. 5-1 our score here. Andre Sims, Brian McLaughlin with you. YD with 5 runs on 10 hits, no errors. Brewster 1 run on 5 hits, no errors. First pitch to Eister, swung over the top of the breaking ball, and it's 0-1. No real shadows as the sun begins to set. It was a partly cloudy sky here as the fog from early this morning lifted. Sun begins to set here in South Yarmouth. 0-1 is a breaking ball that frisbees outside, and it's 1-1. So a 4 for 4 day for Riley King now. And Eister looks to move him along the base paths.
You can't move him from the 7th spot. He's got to stay.
Big swing and a miss from Eister as he just isn't seeing breaking balls too well, and it's 1-2.
He's just struggling to see the ball now for sure. It's a combination of that and a small mechanical adjustment that he's trying to make. He's doing it well in BP. Starting to really hit BP well again after a couple rough rounds of batting practice, but it's taking that adjustment to the game is never easy.
1-2 is chopped on the ground. Tough play at third, over to first. Unable to make the play on the back end was Eric Fago. And it'll be, in the end, a 5-4 fielder's choice. And now Eister replaces King at first base. So now Yeager steps in with Andrew Eister on first base. Yeager drew a walk in his first at-bat and is 0 for 2 cents. First pitch to him. Eister is running. It's a hit and run on the ground to third. Hardman thought about going to second, but Eister moving on the pitch was in there safely, and the hit and run doesn't quite work as Yeager's not on, but Andrew Eister does move up 90 feet and is in scoring position for one of the Cape League's leading hitters with runners in scoring position in Wyatt Young.
Generally, there's 3 things that can happen on a hit and run. One, it works to perfection. You get a base hit, and both guys are then on base. And that's the other thing that could happen. You have a ground ball where then it takes the double play out of order, which is what happened there. So it still ends up being pretty effective.
So Eister sits on second. Don't necessarily need an insurance run in this situation, but anything helps as Wyatt Young steps in and waves over the top of the first pitch from Jimmy Ramsey, and it's 0-1.
Wyatt Young's got to keep his 2 hits in a game streak going. He's got 3 straight multi-hit games. Needs one here. He's only got 1 today. What's going on up there, Wyatt?
What's going on is he also drew a walk in his last at-bat. 1 for 3 on the day. Been on base twice, though. The 0-1. That one dots the outside corner, and it's 0-2.
He can hit with 2 strikes, though. We know that.
Wyatt Young takes a brief second, now steps back into the box. Workman positions himself right behind Andrew Eister, holding him on, trying to keep him as close as he can to give his outfielders a play on a base hit. Foul tip into the glove of Vaught behind the plate, and Wyatt Young goes down swinging. So Jimmy Ramsey works around the base hit from Riley King and the subsequent fielder's choices. And we're through 7 full here, 5-1 our score. We're headed to the top of the 8th inning. You're listening to Red Sox Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Top of the 8th inning here.
The right fielder from the University
Andre
of
Sims, Brian
Alabama,
McLaughlin with you
Tyler
from the Red Wilson
Bentley.
press box here in South Yarmouth. Wind's still blowing, and it's still 5-1 as two teams' pitchers have matched zeros in the 6th and the 7th as we're on the top of the 8th inning now. And Tyler Gentry lead things off against Oscar Carvajal working his first clean inning. Carvajal came in a high leverage situation with the bases loaded, inheriting a jam that Brady Corrigan built. Through 3 straight fastballs past Tyler Gentry as that one is absolutely roped high and foul off the left side, and it's 1-1. Inherited the bases loaded situation and pumped 3 fastballs by the bat of Brett Auerbach en route to the swinging strikeout to end the frame. Gentry on the day, 0 for 3 with a pair of strikeouts as he now gets his first base hit of the day as he ropes one into left field, and Campbell will round it in field, get it back into the infield, and it's a leadoff single for Tyler Gentry.
The second baseman.
Now, if you're Carvajal, you're looking for a double play. Good job by Gentry, his first hit of the day, but Whitey staff's been really good, and Carvajal hasn't shown any command issues, which has been the issue with the other Red Sox relievers at times this season. Carvajal's been in the zone and done a good job creating a lot of soft contact and swing and miss stuff, and that's why he's been successful so far.
So now Mason Dodd steps in. Waves way out in front over the top of the off-speed pitch. It was a great one from Carvajal, and it's 0-1.
That was a nasty changeup right there for Carvajal out on the mound.
Carvajal working out of the stretch. Delivers the 0-1, and it's just high for a ball, 1-1. Dodd's 1 for 3. Struck out in the first, grounded to second in the third, and then singled in his last at-bat in the 6th. The final line on Brady Corrigan, 1 inning, no hits, no runs. Only 1 walk, did have the 2 hit by pitches, but it was a very unnervy 1 inning of work.
Definitely up and down for Corrigan in that half inning. But at the end, no damage done, so no harm done.
Now Carvajal behind 2-1. And that one is skied into center field, pushing Beasley back, and he's looking up, and that one is into the trees and gone. Mason Dodd connects and drives one deep into the right center field trees, and it's 5-3 Red Sox.
All of a sudden, we have a tight ball game here, Andre. Carvajal, it looks like they might even have Dollard up throwing already down in the left field line. This was the 1-2 punch last night that Brewster was able to score on a little bit, but they've been the 2 best relievers so far for the Red Sox this season. Pick knows how important this game is. Whitey losing 3 straight, in a bit of a skid right now, and Brewster surging a bit as well. They can really swing it, so potential for Dollard to maybe come in and slam the door tonight.
First pitch to Hardman is off the glove of Wells outside, and it's 1-0. So the 4-run lead is now halved. It's 5-3, and still no down here in the 8th inning. And you wonder also, Brian, with the sun continuing to set, whether this inning will be the final one, so this half inning becomes especially imperative.
That definitely is the question. It's setting and setting quickly. Feels like to me we're definitely on that borderline. Depending how quick this inning and the half inning for the Red Sox goes, there is the opportunity and the chance that they call it after 8 here.
2-0. And the pitch is roped into center field. Beasley crashing quickly, but he'll let it bounce in front of him, and that's another base hit. 3 straight hits to begin the 8th, and Scott Pickler's got to be a little bit nervous over there in the dugout.
But the question is, so yesterday he brought in Taylor Dollard in a high leverage spot after Carvajal when Carvajal got in a bit of a jam. But Dollard wasn't really ready down there, it felt like, and he came in and got shelled. And so you don't want to bring in Dollard before he's ready. We know what he can do when he's on his game. Just yesterday did not have it.
Wind continues to blow. Jesse Franklin steps in 0 for 3. Infield to double play depth. Riley King playing on the edge of the grass. Coach is tweaking with defensive positioning as Eister shifts back a few steps. As that one's in the dirt, and they say it hits the feet of Franklin, and now that's 4 straight to reach.
Does not feel like he has it right now on the mound. We've seen Carvajal be really locked down at times, but just not so far today. He came in and got the big strikeout last half inning. And now you've got TJ Collette with 5 home runs. He's the go-ahead run up at the plate.
Treacherous times here as Pitt gets the sign from his bullpen coach that Dollard is ready, and that's going to do it for Oscar Carvajal. So Carvajal comes in after getting the Red Sox out of a jam, pitches them right back into one in the top of the 8th inning, already with the 2 runs allowed. And 2 runners on here with still nobody down in the inning, and it's going to fall on the right arm of Taylor Dollard to get them out of this one. High leverage situation, another 6-out save opportunity for Dollard. We'll be right back on the other side of this break on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Taylor
Dollard. So similar to last night and a couple nights ago in Orleans, Taylor Dollard finds himself getting the ball and inheriting a very tough situation. 2 on, nobody out here in the inning. Already 2 runs across, 5-3 the score. Andre Sims, Brian McLaughlin with you. As Dollard will face TJ Collette, who, as we mentioned a couple times in this broadcast, came into the day tied for the league lead in home runs, but he grounds to second for 1, over to first, and it's a quick-fire double play for Taylor Dollard, and suddenly it is a much more comfortable runner on third and 2 down in the inning. Dollard does his job right away.
Well, last night, Dollard came in and gave up a triple, a home run, a single, a double, an intentional walk, and a hit by pitch, Andre. Tonight he gets the double play right off the bat to start it. He gave up the go-ahead home run to Collette last night, so that's got to be great to get back out on the hill for him. First pitch double play, but not done yet. Vogt can swing it at the plate as well.
First pitch to Vogt is upstairs, and it's 1-0.
But it feels like last night Dollard kind of felt rushed in there. Tonight it felt like he had his time to warm up and get ready.
A lot of room up the middles. Vogt swings over the top of an off-speed pitch, and it's 1-1. And we've seen Dollard when he's on is unhittable. so far this season for YD. Without a doubt, their most consistent bullpen arm. Now working here 2 days in a row. Curveball in there for a called strike, and that's the sign that he's really on.
He didn't have it last night, Andre. Never threw the curveball sharp last night. That's already, he looks stronger tonight than he did all of last night to me.
1-2 now the count. Dollard looking to quickly get out of the jam, keeping the damage at just the 2 runs. And he does just that, striking out Vogt. Taylor Dollard comes in, throws 5 pitches, records 3 outs, and gets out of the jam with just the 2 runners allowed. A quick hug from Austin Wells and Dollard. And it looks like that will do it.
Joel just called the game. PA announcer just called the final score. Brewster can't believe it. Red Sox are celebrating. And apparently the umpires just walked off the field. They were done quickly. Joel just ended it.
So I set it up for a 6-out save. In the end, it's just a 3-out save. He comes in,
That'll play.
throws 5 pitches, gets 3 outs, and that'll do it. High leverage as high leverage can get for Taylor Dollard. Limits the damage to what it was. But Brian, the bullpen continues to be a roller coaster, but that should take nothing away from the absolutely incredible start from Eric Tolman tonight.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that back up. Tolman was really, really good. Best we've seen him. That's a potential guy who can get a lot of outs as a starter, both in this league, in the Pac-12 for Arizona State. He has a good fastball command, and a great out pitch with the slider. He was really locked in tonight, best we've seen from him by far, and he helped propel this team to the victory.
Without a doubt. And, you know, it does kind of feel like with this team, they get fired up by a good pitching performance, especially from the starter. And then when that happens, the offense is fired up, tends to pick their pitcher up. We saw them get back to what they did so well in the early parts of the season, which is scoring in the first couple innings of ball games, really allowing their pitcher to settle in, and the offense jumped right out to it in this one.
And on a day when the wind was blowing out, that makes the pitching performance even more spectacular, but these Red Sox took advantage of that. They take advantage of the gusting wind from Austin Wells. Honestly, it was a pop-up to center field that got blown out of here. It was a Red Wilson special, barely cleared the 350 feet wall out there in center, and just got the Red Sox going. Then Riley King, have a day, 4 for 4, a couple of long balls, doubled his RBI total of the season today, just had by far his best day as a Red Sox, and that pushed this team to victory. A couple hits for Wells. Campbell had a decent day at the plate as well. A good day for the offense, but Riley King, definitely the story to go with Tolman tonight.
So a solid bounce-back performance to end the 3-game skid for YD, as they now improve to 15-10-1 on the year. The team is having their pregame huddle right now as the fans start to clear out here from Red Wilson. Tomorrow we will be at Chatham, home for Chatham.
Home for Chatham.
As the Anglers come to Red Wilson. And we will bring you all the action here. It'll be myself and TJ Matthewson on the call. But that for tonight, that'll do it for us at Red Wilson Field. For Brian McLaughlin, I'm Andre Sims. Made sure I got that out correctly because last time I didn't. Thanks you so much for joining us on this fine Thursday afternoon. We'll see you right back here tomorrow.